Good morning, dear colleagues. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. All of us have been following with concern the military attacks in the Islamic Republic of Iran and in the Middle East. The agency immediately responded in accordance with our mandate by focusing on possible radiological emergencies derived from the military operations. The IAEA's Incident and Emergency Center is in operation, with a dedicated team collecting information and assessing the situation while bearing in mind limitations in communications caused by the situation. The Regional Safety Monitoring Network has been put on alert and is liaising with us continuously. So far, no elevation of radiation levels above the usual background levels has been detected in countries bordering Iran. Regarding the status of the nuclear installations in Iran, up to now, we have no indication that any of the nuclear installations, including the Bushehr Nuclear Power Plant, the Tehran Research Reactor, or other nuclear fuel cycle facilities, have been damaged or hit. Efforts to contact the Iranian nuclear regulatory authorities through the IEC continue, with no response so far. We hope this indispensable channel of communication can be re-established as soon as possible. Iran and many other countries in the region that have been subject to military attacks have operational nuclear power plants and nuclear research reactors, as well as associated fuel storage sites, increasing the threat to nuclear safety. The United Arab Emirates has 4 operating nuclear reactors. Jordan and Syria have operational nuclear research reactors. Bahrain, Iraq, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia have also been attacked. These countries all use nuclear applications of some sort or the other. We therefore urge utmost restraint in all military operations. Consistent with the objectives of the IAEA as enshrined in its statute, I reiterate my call on all parties to exercise maximum restraint to avoid further escalation. Let me again recall past General Conference resolutions that state that armed attacks on nuclear facilities should never take place and could result in radioactive releases with grave consequences within and beyond the boundaries of the state which has been attacked. To achieve the long-term assurance that Iran will not acquire nuclear weapons and for maintaining the continued effectiveness of the global non-proliferation regime, we must return to diplomacy and negotiations. The agency will continue to monitor the situation, leveraging its unique resources, deep expertise, and wide international network. We will report on any radiological consequence of the current military activity, and we stand ready to advise and support our member states in case of impacts on nuclear safety and security. Dear colleagues, as you know, I have been closely involved in supporting efforts to find a diplomatic solution to the impasse around Iran's nuclear program. I was invited by the negotiators to the 2 most recent rounds of consultations in Geneva, to which I brought the IAEA's technical and impartial advice. An understanding eluded the parties this time. I am sure we are, quite understandably, feeling a strong sense of frustration. The use of force has been present in international relations since times immemorial. This is a reality, but it is always the least preferred option. I remain convinced that the lasting solution to this long-existing discord lies on the diplomatic table. The IAEA will be there, ready to play its indispensable part whenever and wherever it is called. Dear colleagues, when it comes to nuclear matters, a crystal clear understanding of the scope and verifiability of an agreement is of the essence. Diplomacy is hard, but it is never impossible. Nuclear diplomacy is even more difficult, but it's never impossible. It is not a matter of if, but of when. We will again gather at the diplomatic table. We simply must do so as quickly as possible. Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, let me close by reiterating that I have been in close contact with affected member states in the region. The IAEA has extensive knowledge of the nature and location of nuclear and radiological material in the region, and we have clear guidance for actions necessary in case of an attack or an accident causing a radiological release, as well as the ability for hands-on help if it is required. Let me underline that the situation today is very concerning. We cannot rule out a possible radiological release with serious consequences, including the necessity to evacuate areas as large or larger than major cities. What I can assure you is that the IAEA is there, working with its member states and keeping the international community informed while being ready to react immediately if a breach in nuclear safety occurs.